Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtatarashata Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anant Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri. That's okay. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 7, Text 45. We'll start with Text 45. So if everybody, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, please repeat after me. Nishamya, Karma, Touch, Chambur, Deva Devasya, Midushaha, Praja, Dakshayani, Brahma, Vaikuntash, Cha, Shangshire. All right. Nishamya Karma Touch Chambur. Deva Devasya Midushaha. Praja Dakshaya Ni Brahma. Vaikuntascha Shashangshire. Nishamya karma tachtrambur Deva devasya midushaha Praja dakshayani brahma Vaikuntascha shashang sire. Okay, please chant.
Prabhu, is your mic on?
Okay, please repeat after me. Nishamya, after hearing. Karma, the act. Tat, that. Shambha, of Lord Shiva. Deva devasya, who is worshipable even for the demigods. Midushaha, he who bestows great benedictions upon people in general. Prajaha, the people in general. Dakshayani, Vani, the daughter of Daksha. Brahma, Lord Brahma. Vaikuntaha cha. Okay. Lord Vishnu also. Shamsire, praised very much. Translation. Upon hearing of this act, everyone, including Bhavani, the daughter of Maharaj Daksha, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and the people in general, very highly praised this deed performed by Lord Shiva, who is worshipped by the demigods and who bestows benedictions upon the people. All right, so next text. Just read the English. Scorpions, cobras, poisonous drugs, and other animals whose bites are poisonous took the opportunity to drink whatever little poison had fallen and scattered from Lord Shiva's hand while he was drinking. Purport. Mosquitoes, jackals, dogs, and other varieties of Dandashuka, or animals whose bites are poisonous, drank the poison of the Samudra Mantana, the churned ocean, since it was available after it fell from the palms of Lord Shiva. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Shiva Saves the Universe by Drinking Poison. So we'll move on to the next, to chapter 8. I'll read the summary study, and then we could take a look at text 1. Chapter 8, the churning of the milk ocean. This chapter describes how the goddess of fortune appeared during the churning of the ocean of milk, and how she accepted Lord Vishnu as her husband. As described later in the chapter, when Dhanvantari appeared with a pot of nectar, the demons immediately snatched it from him. But Lord Vishnu appeared as the incarnation Mohini, the most beautiful woman in the world, just to captivate the demons and save the nectar for the demigods. After Lord Shiva drank all the poison, both the demigods and demons took courage and resumed their activities of churning. Because of this churning, first a Surbi cow was produced. Great saintly persons accepted this cow to derive clarified butter from its milk and offer this clarified butter in oblations for great sacrifices. Thereafter, a horse named Uchai Shiva was generated. This horse was taken by Bali Maharaj. Then there appeared Airavata and other elephants that could go anywhere in any direction, and she-elephants also appeared. The gem known as Kaustubha was also generated, and Lord Vishnu took that gem and placed it on his chest. Thereafter, a parijata flower and the apsaras, the most beautiful women in the universe, were generated. Then the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, appeared. The demigods, great sages, Gandharvas, and others offered her their respectful worship. The goddess of fortune could not find anyone to accept as her husband. At last, she selected Lord Vishnu to be her master. Lord Vishnu gave her a place to stay everlastingly at his chest. Because of this combination of Lakshmi and Narayan, all who were present, including the demigods and people in general, were very pleased. The demons, however, being neglected by the goddess of fortune, were very depressed. Then Varuni, the goddess of drinking, was generated, and by the order of Lord Vishnu, the demons accepted her. Then the demons and demigods with renewed energy began to churn again. This time, a partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu called Dhanvantari appeared. He was very beautiful, and he carried a jug containing nectar. The demons immediately snatched the jug from Dhanvantari's hand and began to run away. And the demigods, being very morose, took shelter of Vishnu. After the demons snatched the jug from Dhanvantari, they began to fight among themselves. Lord Vishnu solaced the demigods, who therefore did not fight, but remained silent. While the fighting was going on among the demons, the Lord himself appeared as the incarnation of Mohini, the most beautiful woman in the universe. All right, so we'll read the first verse, and we can read the purport. Shri Shuka Uvacha Piti Gare Vishakena Pitaste Moradanavaha Mamantush Terasa Sindhum Havirdani Tatob Bhavat. Translation. Shukadev Goswami continued. Upon Lord Shiva's drinking the poison, both the demigods and the demons, being very pleased, began to churn the ocean with renewed vigor. As a result of this, there appeared a cow known as Surbi. Purport. Surbi cow is described as Havirdani, the source of butter. Butter, when clarified by melting, produces ghee, or clarified butter, which is inevitably necessary for performing great ritualistic sacrifices, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 5. Yagya dana tapa karma natyajam karyam evata. Sacrifice, charity, and austerity are essential to keep human society perfect in peace and prosperity. Yagya, the performance of sacrifice, is essential. To perform yagya, clarified butter is absolutely necessary. And to get clarified butter, milk is necessary. Milk is produced when there are sufficient cows. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 1844, cow protection is recommended. Krishi go rakshavani jam vaishakarma svabhavajam. Om Gyanatipanandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshulanmaditam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Makam Kridivachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Kipatamaham Bande Shri Gurundini Tarinam Bancha Kopadri Bishcha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. I'll just read this one more time. Shukadev Goswami continued, upon Lord Shiva's drinking the poison, both the demigods and the demons, being very pleased, began to churn the ocean with renewed vigor. As a result of this, there appeared a cow known as Surbi. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has created a perfect system by which following society can be perfectly happy and peaceful. Krishna explains this in the Bhagavad Gita, that he has created different divisions of people, different types of people. So for example, here in the purport, we have a description of Vaishyas, which is described in chapter 18, text 44, that the Vaishyas, the business of the Vaishyas is to protect cows, to engage in agriculture and business. So in this way, we see that there are different types of people who have different duties or different inclinations. And if one doesn't understand their particular nature, or you could say their inclination, then there's no real question of peace and happiness. So peace and happiness come from understanding one's nature, acquired nature in this world, and consciously deciding to engage it in the supreme cause of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. But we see in material existence, some people say like the land of exploitation, that we are educated, we are trained, we are inclined to think otherwise. In other words, we're inclined to think that our happiness will come from surrendering to our own desires, our own material desires, or our own supreme cause. And of course, all of us here, we've heard this many times in different ways, but it's amazing how much we have heard this and still may have not understood it. And the proof in that is that we're still, or at least I can speak for myself, still so easily or so intensely attracted to the temporary, asat, whatever it may be, because there's many temporary things to be attracted to. For some people it's the opposite sex, for some people it's the same sex, for some people it's wealth, whatever it is. I mean, there's so many things to be attached to in this world. I mean, the app world, for example. There's so many apps. I don't know how many, millions of apps. And all of that could just, one could get lost in just one of those apps. What to speak of so many apps. So we, so after hearing so much, after day after day, week after week, year after year, we're hearing, and not only are we hearing this message regularly, but we're repeating it regularly. And then some people wonder, why are we hearing the same message in different ways and this and that, and repeating the same message so much? So they think it's not necessary to hear this message over and over again, but it is necessary, because even after hearing so much, still we may find ourselves inclined to the temporary. One time I asked Dravida Prabhu a question. I asked Dravida Prabhu many questions over the years. Thank you for answering my questions, Dravida Prabhu. Appreciate it. Helping me over the years. And you're still helping me. I appreciate it very much. But I asked him a question because we hear in scripture that if we take the remnants of great Vaishnavas, this is one way we become purified. We hear from them, we take the remnants, we serve them. This is explained in the pastime of Narada Muni as a young boy, son of a maidservant. So I asked Dravida Prabhu this question, and the question was, I still feel myself very fallen, and I feel that I have not made much advancement. And I've taken the remnants of my spiritual master, and I tried with sincerity and devotion, because as we were hearing yesterday, Tirtha Maharaj was mentioning that it's about the consciousness in which something's performed. So I tried with sincerity, and I wasn't doing it in a, and still I feel myself not purified. So I asked Dravida Prabhu this question, like, what's going on with that? And the answer he gave me was that, well, just imagine if you had not been taking your spiritual master's remnants for all these years. Imagine your consciousness. So in a similar way, sometimes devotees may have a complaint about themselves that I really haven't made much advancement, or I feel that I'm in Maya, and so on. But just imagine our consciousness if we had not been engaging in so much hearing and chanting after so many years. Just imagine our consciousness. So yes, we have to hear again and again. And after hearing again and again, we will understand, yes, I'm in Maya. I'm an illusion. I'm attached to the temporary things of this world. I'm proud. I have no love for Krishna. And therefore I need help. I need guidance. And therefore there's the principle of a guru principle. We accept a spiritual master, right? Tadvidhi pranipatena. We accept a spiritual master. Serve him, inquire. And because the spiritual master or the spiritual masters have seen the truth, they themselves are advanced in Krishna consciousness, they can help us. They could guide us. But you could say a problem comes when we sit at the feet of the spiritual master, or whatever the case may be. When we hear from the spiritual master, a problem may come, and that problem is that when we're sitting there, when we're hearing from the spiritual master, when we're reading his books and so on, he will tell us that you have to engage in sacrifice. If we want to advance in Krishna consciousness, we must engage in sacrifice. We must engage in charity. We must engage in austerity. And again, in material existence, the inclination is to not do any of that. The inclination is to work not for Vishnu, not for Krishna, not for anyone, to work for oneself. The inclination is, general terms here, but to not give charity, to keep things for oneself, and to not accept voluntary suffering for Krishna's pleasure. We accept voluntary suffering for our own pleasure, like spending so much time in traffic, right? An hour. Oh, it's just so much. It's terrible, right? Just imagine waking up early in the morning and traveling to work for 1 hour in traffic, traveling back. It's just, Srila Prabhupada writes about this. This is suffering of modern people. And as Chandaka Pandit says, happy is one whose work is near his home and who is not in debt. So you can imagine, I mean, from that standard, how many unhappy people there are. But so people, but they voluntarily accept suffering for their own enjoyment. So we could see how the process of Krishna consciousness is exactly the opposite. That we are meant to engage in sacrifice, to sacrifice our time, actually everything, for Krishna, Krishna's pleasure, and for the benefit of others. As we were hearing the glories of Lord Shiva, that he accepted suffering for the benefit of others, for the benefit of the universe. And we are meant to give in charity. We are meant to perform austerity. And the result of this, it's a wonderful result. The result is that our heart gradually becomes clean, becomes purified, as Rishabhadev mentions in the 5th canto, right? Nayam deho deha bhajam nirloke, that one should engage in tapo divyam, divine austerity, not ordinary austerity. The austerity for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is what we hear, that this should be the course of our life. We should live for others, we should sacrifice for others, we should give charity, we should engage in austerity. And again, this may create some type of problem in our mind. And anybody have any idea what type of problems may arise in our mind when we hear that yes, you must engage in sacrifice, you must engage in austerity, you must engage in charity?
I'm not going to feel happy again. Not exactly. That means to do the content I'm going to experience suffering, like signing up for something.
Yeah. I'm signing up like in the Brahmacharya ashram, you're signing up to sleep on a floor, right? That's
You can be satisfied with what you think it's going to be just an austerity from here on out.
yes. You think you're just living for others, and what about me? What about me? What about me? Yeah. So any other? I think Dravida.
Yeah. Well, that verse that you quoted, the 3rd line says, okay, this is what you have to do, as you quoted, tapo divyam putukayena sattvam shuddye yasmad brahmasakyam sanantam.
Yeah.
So the end of it all is endless happiness, right? So that's that. So that. Oh, now I get it. So let me do that. And you undergo the austerities, but you don't get to endless happiness. And so what happens is that you doubt. You doubt the demon of doubt. Like, does this process really work? And then you can come. You remember that gentleman who joined during the epidemic. He concluded that the whole thing was just a slave mentality, right? Didn't you take a walk with him? I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the funny thing is, he was so attracted to that verse, Susukam Kartambhavyam, and he always liked to dance. I said, oh, he's doing well, but somehow it didn't. The doubts.
Any other ideas?
I have something.
Okay, please.
Oh my God. This is Krishna chanting in the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 17, the divisions of faith. He's telling to Arjuna that penance, sacrifice, and charity should be done to please him. And if you don't do it for pleasing him, then you will become baffled while executing sacrifices, penances, and austerities, etc., and so on. It will baffle you. It will defeat you. You may think that, oh, I'm sacrificing myself, but if you're not sacrificing for the pleasure
He's
of
not
Krishna, that same sacrifice
not
will destroy you.
Okay, thank you. So, so anyway, like we could come up with different reasons why, after hearing this, this might be seen as a problem. I won't be happy, or I won't be satisfied. I'm just signing up for suffering. Do I really? I don't really. Yeah. One thing is that one problem or one maybe difficulty that may arise from hearing this is that we may feel that we're not very qualified to engage in austerity and so on. Tamal Krishna Goswami, when he was in Juhu, in near Mumbai, he had to have a surgery done, and he was taken to the hospital, and they had to put him to sleep, and they told him count 10, 9, 8, 7. So he recalls how he got to 7, and then he just, he woke up after the surgery. And he said that while he was sleeping, he had a dream. And in the dream, Srila Prabhupada was reporting to the previous acharyas. And Srila Prabhupada was saying how I have analyzed the people of this world, and they are not very pious. They're not really able to do much austerity, and so on. But they, somehow or other, they have taken shelter, some of them at least, have taken shelter of me. And that is their glory. So Tamal Krishna Goswami, when he woke up, Srila Prabhupada was there at the hospital, because Srila Prabhupada didn't want him to go to the hospital. He thought he'd better do that surgery in America. So Tamal Krishna Goswami, he relayed this dream to Srila Prabhupada, and he asked him what he thought of it. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, that's true. He accepted that conclusion. So from this, hearing this, or one way of seeing this is that the problem may come that we may think ourselves unqualified to do this, but it's necessary to do it. It's necessary to engage in yajna. It's necessary to engage in austerity and charity. These things are necessary. So what are we supposed to do? And the idea is that even if we feel ourselves unqualified, and even if we very well may be unqualified in many ways, the idea is that we should try to understand with our intelligence that this is good for us, this is for our upliftment, and it's necessary, and we should engage in it to the best of our ability, and that will be accepted. And the result will be perfect peace and happiness, and not selfish happiness, but real happiness, happiness in association with Krishna. All right, so does anybody have any questions or comments? Veer Chandra?
Thank you for the class. And when I heard it, it's very important that, like your message, that we repeatedly listen, repeatedly repeat, and but attachment still here, still with us. Mm-hmm. And if we see on it from the intelligence side, that very naturally we can we have two options. Maybe this process doesn't work, but we see examples that some devotees like overcome it. So that, and Srila Prabhupada, like example, he gave us, and he gave us not only like only faith. He gave examples that it works.
Yeah.
So. No, he is example, and many devotees after Srila Prabhupada, like
His
example,
disciples.
like examples of that it works, that like changes
Yes. Yes.
have place, and then if we intelligence way we see it, then we should ask question, where is my mistake? I do, but no results. And then we should analyze very thoroughly this where to find this mistake, and also we can see that by our efforts it's not possible. We should accept guidance those who already passed this way, and they can help us.
Yes.
More we can see that how understand that you mentioned different inclinations that we have, and we should engage it in service, and but we should remember that Lord Chaitanya gave process, congregational chanting, and like he gave this process, and we can see that everything else is like should help to main process, and maybe here this answer. What do you think? Or maybe someone else also have some thoughts about it. This is like comment and question.
Comment
we can discuss it, because of this is not simple
Well, of course,
things.
of
I'm
course,
not
chanting-
sure that I have some.
Of course,
something.
chanting is the main process for this age, the main process for God realization, self-realization. And ultimately, yeah, that's all we really need to do for perfection. But we see that practically people cannot do that, just sit and chant or just chant all day with mridanga. Most people cannot do that. Most people have a hard time, finishing 16 rounds, or at least some people have a hard time. So therefore there's the idea of, okay, there's our nature, our inclination, according to our acquired nature, and we should engage that in Krishna's service. And that can also be a way to express our devotion and our devotion to Krishna, and that's a way that we could contribute to society. Like some devotees, they will contribute to society by farming, for example, or managing temples, or teaching. So these are different ways we can engage. These are different ways we can express our devotion to Krishna. So that's one thought. I think Mukunda,
I have another question if there's time.
Okay.
Depends. I also have, but
You have thoughts on it?
no. If you have a question, you of course.
This wasn't the main topic of your class, but it was within the class. So you mentioned this question that one may be practicing, and then specifically you were saying, even taking the remnants from your guru, and that's supposed to help us advance in Krishna consciousness. And so you brought this up to Jivita Prabhu, and the answer was, well, just imagine if you hadn't. And I appreciate that answer. And I don't want to like offend it by like pick it apart. But I was wondering if there's some like what the best way would be to like qualify that answer so that it doesn't just sound like another unfalsifiable claim. That because any religious person, any person with any cause or any opinion could say, do this and you'll benefit.
Even outside of it.
Yeah. So.
I had the same question, but my question is so intense, I'm afraid of asking it. Yeah, if we were to strip this down, I mean, you initiated, but like we all seem to have had the same thought. No, turn off the internet. Yeah, it's a serious question, and look, I've been around for almost 40 years. You know, I'm tired of. I'm so not satisfied with the. I think they're brain dead answers, you know, to this question of the process working or not. But what's interesting to me, and this is what I wanted to ask, but may not be really appropriate, may initiate doubts and crisis in people's minds, especially if we have internet, God knows what kind of people listen to. But what's interesting to me is, and it's really hard for me to find a devotee who will give a really honest answer. How does the devotee deal with this question? I mean, look what happened to Virat. I'm sorry, but and the list goes on. But why? How? You know, look at myself. I've been chanting for many years, and I'm not a slouch. You know, what kind of a process is it that every little damn thing offends him? And I don't want, you know, I'm not satisfied with it. I'll just chant Hare Krishna. So anyhow, maybe I shouldn't have said all of this, but yeah. And what I found is that it's very hard to find a devotee who has honestly asked himself this question.
Could you repeat that question?
No, I really wouldn't want to.
It's just you and me, and it's just us. I don't know, Mike. It's just you. I forgot.
The question that I've been following the process, and there are, you know, promises made, you know, or assurances given,
which are not delivered. You know, I mean, I've been around. You know, I know gurus with issues. You know, like, you know that story of what is it? The king is naked. You know,
Emperor wears no clothes.
Emperor wears no clothes. You know. Like after a while, you just like you remove the stigma that the society places on you, and once you're free from that stigma, you see, man, there's a lot of naked people here. So this question is generating no crisis in me, like whatsoever. I love challenges. I mean, life without challenges is for dead people. But I'm really tired of dumb answers where you just repeat something. What I'm trying to say is that you seldom find someone who has honestly asked himself this question. And part of this question is, what kind of a process is this that every little damn thing offends you? Like super powerful process, but every little damn thing offends you. No, offends the process.
Oh, offends the process.
Yeah. In other words, the process crumbles, doesn't work, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you have material desires. I know, that's why I'm chanting or whatever. Anyhow, I mean, might be a good discussion over breakfast in privacy away from the internet. That'd be honest question, and I'm not seeking, you know, mindless repetition. So to me, that's boring. I've been around for 3 years.
Jai. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your, yeah, candid. Yeah. No, it's great to think outside of the box and discuss things. So
How about being honest?
that's
Instead of tripping out on Hare Krishna story, fairy tale.
I had a similar question.
well. Kala, Prabhu, do you want?
I think it's natural.
Natural. Oh, we are all with each other at least after this class for some time, so we'll discuss.
After this discussion, I feel it's like an out of the truck, you know.
Okay.
Can I respond to something tangible that Mukunda and you discussed? Go for it. Today. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the enlightening lecture. So, in response to what you and Mukunda were just talking about, Prabhus, I was thinking a tangible thing to think about is, the state of consciousness in our activities before we even were introduced to Krishna consciousness. And it's easy to, I think, compare that point in our lives to the point that we're at now. And, I've heard many stories of devotees at the early state, at the beginning, and I can see where they're at now. And I think if you make that comparison, in a lot of cases, that it's really easy to see the consciousness is completely different for the better. So, Hare Krishna.
Okay. Granted, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna.